Hello. So today we are going to be talking about how to set up the Sage Intacct integration with Ramp. So we can see that Sage has multiple products. The one today that we're going to be setting up is Sage Intacct. So I'm going to click on Sage. We are going to log in. We have a variety of different Ramp accounts, but the one that I'm going to be connecting with today is the Sage Intacct Demo Solution Plus Sales. Click Autofill. This is going to log us in. And we're just going to follow the steps. So the first, I'm going to move this over. Well, let's copy this. Okay. So the first step is that we're going to need to ensure web services is turned on in Sage. So we're going to navigate to company, and then we're going to navigate to admin. And then we're going to go to subscriptions, which might actually be within setup now. Let's see, subscriptions. Maybe I missed it. Subscriptions. Okay. And we're going to need to check that web services is on. So that's good. And that's complete. So let's move to step 2. So step 2 is creating a web services user on Sage. So now I'm going to go to, let's see. So now I'm going to go to company, admin, and web services users. We can see that there's already a web services user for me. So I'm just going to edit this as if I was going through the process for the first time. So I'm going to edit this web services user. I want to save this email. Looks like it's actually already good to go. So we should be good to go now. Okay, so let's go. Now we can create a web services user. So I'm going to click add, and I'm going to do this ramp 3 CSM. I'm just going to do ramp 3 CSM training as the user ID. It's Rogoff, first name is Gabriel. Then we're going to use my email, rogoff@ramp.com. Let's see what other fields we name: last name, first name, and email. User type is business. Admin privileges we usually do off, but if a client wants to have them on, that's not going to cause a problem. So I'm going to save this. That's okay. Then we're going to enter the password, and we're going to verify. Awesome. So now we've created this ramp 3 CSM training role. And now we're going to go to view permissions and roles. And what we can see is that under roles, there's nothing assigned yet. So we're actually going to, let's go back to this. Let's click roles information. And we can also see here that there's no role assigned here either. So now what I'm going to do is we are going to create a role. So we're going to go to roles. And now we are going to add a new role. And this is going to be called, let's call it ramp role CSM training. Okay. And we're going to save this. And this is the important part. We want to check everything here, but we also have to go into each permissions and check all here and scroll down and ensure everything is checked each time and save. So that's the first one, administration. Now company, we're going to do all, scroll down to the bottom. Looks like we're all good, save. Now we're going to do cash management. We're going to click all, scroll down to the bottom. And here's what's important. If you just selected all up here, this would not be complete. You also have to select all down at the bottom. So make sure you scroll all the way down and select all the permissions. This is a very important step. Click save. Awesome. Now we're going to go to general ledger. And if I miss one of these, forgive me, but you want to really double check these. So we did cash management. I'll just double check. We did that. We just did general ledger. So let's do accounts payable and do all. scroll down, all, save. Okay, then we're going to do platform services, all, that looks good. Accounts receivable, all, scroll down, all, save. Okay, and now we're going to do projects, all, scroll down, all, save. And now we're going to do time and expenses. And we're going to do all, scroll down, all, and save. Now we're going to do inventory control. We're going to do all, scroll down, all, save. Now we're going to do order entry, all, scroll down, all, save. Now we're going to do purchasing, all, save. Now we're going to do consolidation, all, save. Contracts, all, scroll down, save. Taxes, all, save. User-defined dimensions, all. I always do actions, all, this, all. Okay, great. So now we should be good to go. So we're going to save this role. And now what we have to do is we have to actually assign this role to the web services user we created. So if I go back to company and then web services users, and this is another important step that people miss sometimes. We have to go to roles information. And now we need to select this ramp role, CSM training, that we just created. And we're going to save. And once again, we have to enter our password. And there we go. So now when I go to view permissions and roles, and we go to role permissions, one has all of this in it. And we can see under roles, we have this role now. So that's great. We've completed that. Let's go back to the setup guide to see where we're at. So here we've assigned the role and everything. Okay. And we've assigned all the permissions. We've completed these a little bit out of order, but it's fine. We did everything. Okay, now we need to authorize ramp as a sender on stage. So let's go do that. So now we need to, this is step 3. So now we need to go to, now we need to go back. Let's go to company, setup, and then company. And we're going to click security. And then we're going to click edit. And we're going to scroll down. And we're going to find web services authorizations. So we can see that this has already been set up here. Ramp financial MPP. For that reason, I am not going to set it up again. But this is the step where you would come in here to set this up and everything. And if I need to click add, I would click add, and you would be able to set this up with ramp financial MPP and then ramp integration. It's also important to note that the fields are case sensitive. So if you were to enter like ramp integration or ramp financial, that could cause an error. So make sure that you have the correct capitalization here when entering these fields. Okay, so I'm going to cancel this for now, and we're going to move to the next step. So the next step is that we need to create a credit card account and everything in Sage. So let's scroll down. And you're going to need to create a credit card account in each entity that you want to sync transactions to. Note that we cannot sync the credit card transactions to the top level entity in certain scenarios. We're not going to go through that in this video, but what I will explain is in Sage, you have a top level entity, and then you have all the other entities. So when we're talking about top level entity, without worrying too much about what that is, you can Google it as well. Understand that you do a lot of consolidated reporting at the top level, and at these levels, you have all of the other entities. So we're just going to focus on USA 100 for now and make sure that there's a credit card account set up. I'm not going to go through the process to set up a credit card account for every entity. So here we're going to navigate here to this entity, USA 1. We're going to go to cash management, and then we're going to go to credit card. And we want to make sure that there's a credit card account. I can see that there's already a Ramp Card USA account that's set up. And it has all of the right details and everything. We typically want to set out the expiration to be pretty far in advance. I can see here we've set 2033 in the guide. Setting the expiration, it says 2030. As we approach 2030, you may want to set a further expiration date and everything. So let's go back. And yeah, so we can set up everything here. The bottom half of the form right here, customers can set it up how they desire. A lot of the time, customers will choose an account like credit card payables for the offset account and everything. And it's worth noting, Sage does not let customers use the same offset account for multiple credit cards. So this account has to be different for each credit card that we set up. And yeah, so I'm not going to go through setting this whole thing up because it's already set up. Okay, and let's go. Now what we can do is we can check my email to see if I received an email. And it looks like I did. I received a welcome to Sage Intacct email. And here is the information that I'm going to need to connect the integration. So I'm going to go over to Ramp. I'm going to select Sage Intacct. And now I'm going to get this information from my email. Let's do user ID. Okay, and then we're going to do the company ID, which is this one. And then we're going to do the password, which is this one. And now we are able to hit save and continue. Awesome. And that is, after this, you'll have to set up your default accounts and everything. So you can see we're redirected to the entities page. Here are all of our entities in Sage. One thing I'll do is I'll just make sure that, this entities looks the same as what we're expecting. So if we click here, do we see the same entities and everything? You don't have to worry about the elimination ones and everything, but mostly just these ones. Are these ones the same? USA 1, USA 2, Canada, UK. And when I look, it looks like the entities are the same. And I would be able to go through the process of setting up these entities just like as if it was for another integration. So this one, let's say that we want to set up USA 1. I can map this one to USA 1. I can select my Ramp Card USA account. This is going to be showing in USD. This text will change after I save, or it should. Actually, try to save changes. So I have to select a cash account. I'm just going to do this one for demo bank, and I'm going to save changes. And let's see if that changes the name and everything. So now it should change to USA 1 and everything. Yeah, but that is how you set up your Connect Sage Intacct and set up your first entity. And now if we want to go to the accounting tab and everything, we would be we can try to sync one, see if we can sync one transaction or if there's additional setup required. So let's see. So it looks like we need a category. So let's just do, doesn't really matter, something expense. Let's do travel. Do we have some kind of travel account? All right, let's do an actual travel expense. United Airlines. Okay, perfect. So let's do travel here under United Airlines. And we're going to mark it as ready. And now we would be able to sync this transaction. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that. But yeah, that is how we set up the Sage Intacct integration and everything.